Students, last time we have seen about Wheatstone bridge and how Wheatstone bridge circuit works. So Wheatstone bridge circuit works to find the value of unknown resistance. So today we are going ahead with the same portions, the same topic. Our today's topic is the meter bridge. So before starting the portion of a meter bridge, I'm just trying to explain the concept of a Wheatstone bridge, which we will use in this meter bridge. So as we have seen in case of a Wheatstone bridge, this is a circuit of a Wheatstone bridge in which four different resistors are there: R1, R2, R3, and R4. And when the galvanometer reading between these 2 points is a 0, so at that time Wheatstone bridge circuit, the equation of Wheatstone bridge circuit is that R1 upon I is equal to R3 upon R4. So we will use the same concept or the same pattern of the equations over here for a meter bridge. So starting with the construction and the arrangement of the meter bridge. So meter bridge is also equipment that is used for measuring the value of a unknown resistance. So here we have A2, here we have this 3A, A, B and this portion C. These are the metallic strips, in which these two metallic strips are of a rectangular shape. And between these two metallic strips, we have kept another metallic strip. Okay, and now between these two metallic strips, and between these two metallic strips, I am keeping a value of any resistance. I am putting any resistance. Same way, between both these points, I am keeping another resistance. Suppose this is a resistance S and this is a resistance R. Okay, so we have a value of known resistance S or a standard resistance, and we have to find the value of resistance R. Same way, between this point A and C, we have one resistors, or you can say that copper wire. So we have copper wire that is kept wounded between point A and C tightly, and this and the length of this resistor between point A and C, that is a 1 meter, or we can say a meter. So now we have seen the concept of a resistors, that is the value of a length is increased, the resistor will increase. So if I put a galvanometer between this point B and one end of the galvanometer, that is at a point B, another end of the galvanometer, it is connected with the jockey. Jockey, that is a one kind of metallic device which is moved on this copper wire, or we can say the resistor. So which is moved on this jockey is moved on this resistor wire in such a way that at one point you will find the value of a galvanometer that is equal to 0. Means if you move this jockey on this copper wire or on these resistors, so at all the points it will indicate some values. Either the value will increase, either the value will decrease. But at some point, at specific point, the values of a galvanometer, or you can say that value of a galvanometer is used for finding the value of a current. So at some specific point, the values of a galvanometer, that is equal to 0. So in that case, at this point, suppose the length is the alpha. In that case, suppose length between A and this point, suppose this is point B, A and D, that is L1. So as it is a meter stick, so that will be the values of, if I am taking it in terms of centimeter, so that will be 100 minus L. Okay, and suppose the resistance through between this point A and C through this conductor or the copper wire, that is equal to R centimeter. So now, okay, so this is the arrangement between A and C. Now A and C both are connected with the switch K1, and it is also connected with any cells E. Okay, so as the current through the cells that will pass, that current will pass through this resistors. Now I am drawing the circuit for this portion. So this is point A, this is point C, this is point B, this is point D. So between A and B we have unknown resistor, that is R. Between B and C we have the standard values of resistor, that is S, which is the known. Between A and D we have the value, that is RCM into L1, and between B and C we have that value, that is R centimeter 100 minus L. And between B and D the galvanometer is connected. That galvanometer indicates the reading current I equal to 0. And between A and C, between A and C we have a switch and cells of the battery. So again, for these portions, if we apply the Wheatstone bridge circuit, so Wheatstone bridge circuit says that R1 upon R2 is equal to R3 upon R4. Same way, if I write R centimeter into R1 upon R is equal to R centimeter 100 minus L1 upon S. So here R centimeter will get cancelled. So value of a resistor S is known. So I have to find the value of R. So R is equal to S into L1 upon 100 minus L2. R is equal to S into L1 upon 100 minus L1. So if we know the value of this L1, so we can, and if we know the value of this S, we can easily find out the value of a resistor R. So this is the concept of a meter bridge. I hope the concept is clear and theory is clear to you. All the things are given. This one is a meter scale. This one is a metallic strip. Okay. So this is the portion of a meter bridge. So we have our next topic, that is the potentiometer. So potentiometer, that is also one of the device which is used to find the value of internal resistance and this potential difference. So before going to that portions of how we can find the value of internal resistance and the potential difference between 2 points, just we'll see the concept, how the potentiometer and what is the principle of a potentiometer. So the principle says that the potential difference across any 2 points on the wire, that is directly proportional to distance between 2 points. That is directly proportional to the distance between 2 points. If we take these 2 points A and B, so that is the potential difference between A and B, that is directly proportional to the distance, that is directly proportional to its length. And if I take A and C and length is L, so that is proportional to L. Now this one is a circuit. Try to understand the circuit. This is a battery cell. This is a small r, means that is the internal resistance of the battery. Normally we consider the resistance for any given conductor wire, but battery itself is having a resistance. So that resistance is known as the internal resistance, and that internal resistance is indicated by the small r. So this one is a cell or a battery, and this is the internal resistance of the battery. This one is a switch, and this is a resistor box. Means suppose any resistance is connected with this circuit. Now this is point A and point B, that is one conductor or any copper wire is there which is connected between A and B, and that length of the copper wire, that is capital L, and between point A and C the length of the copper wire, that is a small l, and the current I that is passing through this portion of the copper wire. Now if we want to change the potential between point A and B, so what we can do, we can we can increase the area between A and B, or we can decrease the area, or we can increase the length. So here we are not changing the length, we are just increasing the area between A and B. As the area is increased, so the potential between point A and B will change. Here in this case we will see one more terminology, that is a rho. Rho, that is the resistance per unit length, that is R upon L. So resistance through this portion AC, that is equal to L into rho, and resistance between point A and B, that is equal to R is equal to rho into capital L. So as per Ohm's law says that V is equal to I into R. Okay, so I is equal to, here in place of V we will write E. So I is equal to E upon R, is equal to E upon R, that is the resistor. So in this circuit we will consider all the values of resistance. Here we have this internal resistance, here we have this resistance box, that is suppose if I say R, and here if we consider this point A and B, so here we have the value of resistance equal to rho into L. So the total, and all these resistors are connected in series, so the total resistance R, that is equal to small r plus capital R plus rho into L. Okay, I is equal to, current I is equal to E upon small r plus capital R plus rho into L. Okay, so this is a current which is flowing through the circuit, flowing through this circuit, and as we know that if the resistors are in a series, so the same amount of current will pass through the circuit. So if we take only the portions of AC, so for that portion of AC, the potential V is equal to I into R. Okay, for this portion of AC, the potential difference V is equal to I into R. So already I am writing here V is equal to I into R. So already we have the value of I is equal to E upon small r plus capital R plus rho into L into, sorry, this is the resistance box, into R. R is what? L, small l into rho. Okay, so what is V is equal to E upon small r plus capital R plus R rho into L into rho. So overall, if we try to see that so we will find that this potential difference that directly proportional to L, that potential difference that is directly proportional to the length of this resistance wire. Okay, because all other parts or all other portions remains fixed or a constant. So as per this, the principle is the potential difference across any 2 points on the wire, that is directly proportional to the distance between 2 points. Okay, so I hope up to this it's clear to you. And one more terminology we will use in this theory, that is the potential gradient. So what is the potential gradient? So potential gradient, that is the potential difference between any 2 points per unit length, that is known as the potential gradient. Okay, so potential gradient, that is equal to V upon L. So here this one is a basic theory or a basic theory for the potentiometer, and based on this basic theory we will use this potentiometer for finding the value of a internal resistance, or if we change the values of a resistance and also for if we change the value of a potential difference. Okay, so in your next class we will see how we can apply this potentiometer for both the conditions. So here, if you have any doubts in the theory and up to this for the chapter number 3, if you have any doubts, any clarifications, you can ask me any time. Okay, thank you.